Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to meet the balances, and I want you to have lots of fun with this because as adults we don't get to play around, so you are going to fall over, you are going to wobble, and you're just going to love it. So let's get to it. We're going to practice balancing. So root down through the left foot, really look at your left foot, raise the 5 toes off the ground, and really push down into that foot, and then lift up the inner arches and squeeze the muscles into the bones, lifting up the kneecaps, dropping the tailbone, lifting up the core, and get long in all 4 corners of the body. And imagine, just like a puppet, someone is helping you lift up through the crown of your head. So zip all of the muscles in, and then you're just going to gently, as you squeeze into the left side of your body, float your right leg up. And you might not get very far up, but zip up your core and hold your right knee in, your first balance. And you may wobble, and when you wobble like this, squeeze all the muscles into the bones, into the thighs, into the legs, root down and rise up as if you're stretching in both directions. As you stretch in both directions, that will help stabilize you and squeeze the muscles in. Wonderful, then float that leg down. Let's do the other side. Root down through the right leg, lift all 5 toes up and place them back down. Send the tailbone down, draw the belly in, squeeze the muscles in, and as you squeeze in and root down, rise up through the crown of the head and lift up the left knee. And give it a squeeze in, and as you wobble, squeeze all the muscles into the bone and relax the face, soften the eyes, look at something that isn't moving, 6 feet in front of you and down on the floor. Breathe, and then gently, mindfully float that leg back down. Wonderful. So that's the concept. You're rooting down to rise up and you're squeezing it all in. Let's do tree pose, one of our favorites. Imagine you're growing roots down through your mat, spreading your mat nice and wide. Zip up your core, tailbone down. Same principle. We're going to lift that knee up and we're going to find where it wants to be. So lift the right knee up as you root down through the left. Squeeze the muscles in and then draw the hip open. Now your tree might be a baby sapling to begin with, with the foot on the ground. So Jo's going to put her foot on the ground. James is going to grow his to the calf. Or maybe later, James, if you can demonstrate, putting the foot in between on the top of the thigh, but just not on the kneecap, because that is your joint. So again, same principles. Root down, rise up, squeeze everything in, and wherever your foot is, push it into the trunk of your left leg. Spread across the collarbones. Hand options are like this with Jo Samastujihi, prayer, or when you're able, like James, grow your branches up to the ceiling, root down, rise your branches, lift up, breathe in, breathe out, and then enjoy the silence. Enjoy the wobbles, and gently come out. Wonderful. Hands in prayer, and float down. Give it a shake out your branches. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Lovely. And then root down through that right leg. Think of it as a tree trunk. Grow the roots down. Grow your branches from the top of your head, and then float your left leg up, sending your tailbone down, zipping up your core, and finding where you're at on this side, which might be different. So again, baby sapling with the toe down, into the calf, or up, like James, into the thigh. Squeeze it all together. Root, rise, spread. And then find which hand variation you want. Prayer, or grow your branches up. Really imagine you're growing them towards the sun. Full expression, starfish those hands out. Soften the face, soften the eyes. Enjoy. And then mindfully float all the way down. And coming out of it and give it a good shake. So wonderful things you can play around. Have a go, challenge yourself. See if you can hold true for 30 seconds, then 40, and then maybe 60. That soft, drishty, beautiful focus. Right, we're going to have some fun with Warrior 3 and aeroplane. So come to the top of your mat. And I'm just going to have Jo demonstrate aeroplane for me, and James is going to demonstrate Warrior 3. So take your Warrior 3 and aeroplane, and then I'll teach you through it. So have a look at what this looks like. Wonderful. So here you can see they're sending their heart forward. They're imagining someone's got the back foot and they're pushing back in equal directions. The balances are all about opposing forces. They're rooting down through that right standing leg. They're rising up and they're stretching out. Wonderful. So let's go through the talking points of aeroplane. So root root down through your right leg. Zip up your core, tailbone down, and squeeze the muscles in. Gently move the weight to the right foot, and you're going to think like a pendulum. So you're going to send your heart forward, and your left leg is going to come back. Imagine you're kicking me away as you're growing the crown of the head forward, sending the heart forward. Imagine my palms are underneath your palms, and I'm pushing you up, and you're pushing your palms down. So you're lifting your heart forward, your tummy is zipped in, stretching in both directions. Through the crown of the head, and out through the heel, down through the rooting foot, and up. Wonderful. And then gently pendulum back, mindfully. Fantastic. And we're going to take warrior 3 on the same leg, but the next time you're going to do it on the other side outside of this tutorial. So let's root down. Actually, let's do it on the other side. Let's give these guys a break. Root down through the left leg this time. Zip up the core, tailbone down. Imagine the pose before you do it. You're going to have the hands in front of your heart, exactly the same as pendulum, as aeroplane. Take the right leg back, the inner thigh is spinning up. Send the crown of the head away. Imagine pushing me away with this back leg. Wonderful. Zipping in the core. And then when you're ready, as much as you're pushing out through this back leg, push out through the hands. There we go. Send the heart down to the ground. Squeeze the imaginary burrow between the shoulders. Express yourself. Root to rise. And then pendulum back. Wonderful. Warrior 3. Something to play around with. You're going to wobble, you're going to fall, but the concept is always extending in both directions, as if someone's pulling you forward and pushing you back and rooting to rise and squeezing the muscles in. Have fun, fall, wobble, and then build the strength. Enjoy the practice.